Thank you for stopping by GardenStateWeather.com, New Jersey and the Northern Mid-Atlantic region's weather news portal. I'm forecaster Robert Smith with the in-depth analysis video forecast discussion for Monday, July 8th, 2013. And I do hope that everybody had a very nice, hot, but pleasant 4th of July weekend. Late morning surface map this morning shows generally clear skies across the region. There's a few high or broken lower clouds, high cirrus clouds in some areas, broken clouds in others, but most of the region, as we'll show in the satellite imagery, is generally clear this morning. Clouds will be increasing during the afternoon hours as the heating really gets going, but notice that the dew points are still high. They're in the mid-upper 60s across the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area, and again all the way down through southern New Jersey and the Delmarva, but they're a little lower today than they were yesterday thanks to a strong line of some severe thunderstorms with downed trees, power outages, and lightning and hail last evening across northeastern New Jersey into the New York City metropolitan area and southern Connecticut. That has allowed temperatures this morning to rise into the upper 80s, the low to the mid 80s actually across the region, but they are considerably a lot lower than they were over the last several days, and definitely this is making the relative humidity values a little bit lower late this morning and early this afternoon as well. Watches, warnings, and advisories. We really don't have any in this region here. We do have some flash flood watches in effect until early tomorrow morning. This would be north of Poughkeepsie and east of Fishkill into Hartford, into Connecticut. But outside of this region here, we are basically precipitation, we're actually warning free at this point, but there might be some pulse storms, which we can already see developing as a trough axis begins to move in this direction. And these pulse storms will probably continue to work their way east in the atmosphere, a little bit more stable today, but becoming unstable during the afternoon hours. And some showers and thunderstorms could get in here later this afternoon into the evening hours again, with some heavy downpours, some lightning, and some hail again being the primary threat across the region. Temperatures right now 85 in Newark, New Jersey, 85 also in Central Park, and also 83 degrees at Atlantic City. Philadelphia is right now at 81 degrees. If you're still on vacation or you're just have the Monday off, your coastal beach forecast for New Jersey and the Delaware beaches for today: mostly sunny, isolated showers and thunderstorms later. High temperatures around 80, beach winds southwest at around 10 to 15, surf around 2 feet, and the UVI index is a 7, which is very high. Surf temperature is in the low to mid 60s. Rip current risk low. However, strong currents can occur near piers and jetties. Rip currents are possible elsewhere, especially during the lower portion of the tide cycle. Always swim in areas where lifeguards are present and talk with them about the hazards in the surf zone. There's a moderate risk of lightning in thunderstorms late this afternoon. For the New York Long Island coastal beaches from Coney Island out to Hither Hills, we're going to have surf around 2 feet, 2 to 3 feet, and around 3 feet as you get past Cupsog Beach and out towards Hither Hills. And lightning will be moderate risk today, especially interior locations from Coney Island out to, let's say, Smith Point. Very high, low risk of lightning across the central and east ends of Long Island. The water temperatures are generally running in the upper 60s, but on the south and east ends of Long Island, water temperatures are in the mid 60s. Also for western and central Long Island Sound have a low risk of rip currents this afternoon, but a high risk of rip currents, let's say from central and eastern Long Island all the way out to the tip. And for the aviational segment, we have VFR conditions continuing at the terminals, although some lower decks of clouds starting to move in through the region this morning. Bases are around 15,000 feet, 1,500 feet rather, and they're pushing southeastward in association with a weak wave moving through. And these clouds will remain mostly scattered, and they'll become broken for a brief period of time. Winds will remain fairly light out of the west-southwest late this morning and pick up around 10 knots this afternoon. Not a lot of wind right above the surface, so if any gusts develop late this afternoon, only be about 15 knots. There is a chance for some isolated to scattered thunderstorms existing across the region this afternoon and evening, which may result in a brief MVFR ceilings and visibilities at times. And the outlook for Tuesday through Friday: some showers and thunderstorms are anticipated each day, especially in the afternoon and evening. A local MVFR and or lower due to ceilings and or visibilities are anticipated. The greatest concentration and impact is outlooked for Wednesday into Thursday. Agricultural forecast from Rutgers. Rainfall amounts a tenth of an inch with locally higher amounts possible today, tonight, and Tuesday. Winds for spraying mostly west at 5 to 10 miles an hour through Tuesday. Relative humidities 55 to 65% today, 90 to 100% tonight, and 55 to 65% again on Tuesday. Dew points upper 60s to lower 70s through Tuesday. Fair to best drying conditions today and Tuesday. There'll be some dew with wetting possible from showers and thunderstorms tonight and Tuesday night. 60% sunshine today, a little bit less, about 40% on Tuesday. And we can see the buildup of clouds here across mid and upper level cloud cover across Pennsylvania. Mostly clear here in northern New Jersey. Some high cirrus clouds and broken clouds here developing across central and southern New Jersey. And there are, on the water vapor imagery, we can see a weak short wave developing here across central and eastern Pennsylvania, and a bigger, stronger trough access here, a frontal boundary developing here across the Ohio and Western Virginia mountains here late this morning and this afternoon. As a result, the radar is showing some showers and thunderstorms exiting the southern northern mid-Atlantic region. Some pulse storms developing here across central Pennsylvania and off the lakes here into New York State. Most of the region, though, however, is generally rain-free, thunderstorm-free, but that probably will change late this afternoon and this evening. All these greens in here representing dew point temperatures above 60, and in many cases 65 to 70. So this is still very humid air, but basically high pressure still across the region, a weak low moving off the southern New England coast. High pressure still across the region today, plenty of moisture in the atmosphere out to the west, especially west of this trough line axis here. This is a ridge line axis here, but a weak surface trough developing probably near sea breeze boundaries and also thermally induced around the mountainous regions this afternoon. So we'll watch for some pulse storms across this region here in central Pennsylvania. Try to make a run for the coast during late this afternoon and early tonight. Meanwhile, the frontal boundary still stalled up in here. This associated with a surface wave across the southern Great Lakes and the upper Midwest. This will be moving in our direction, probably passing through the region by Thursday night or Friday, with some very strong showers and thunderstorms at that time, but still a very soupy, saturated, humid summertime air mass in place for the rest of the week, with scattered to isolated showers and thunderstorms developing along sea breeze and thermal boundaries during the afternoon and evening hours until about Thursday night and Friday, when a strong cold front will reach the eastern seaboard with strong showers and thunderstorms becoming more numerous and widespread. And then that will set us up hopefully for a better weekend, depending on whether this front fully makes its way south of the region with drier air and high pressure building in here, or whether it's going to be stalled just to the south with waves of low pressure riding along it. We'll take a look at some of the modeling in just a moment. Meanwhile, we have Tropical Storm Chantal, which developed yesterday, and it's advisory number 3, 8 o'clock on Monday morning. The next advisory coming out at 2 this afternoon. Maximum sustained winds 40 knots. Minimum central pressure 1,005 millibars. Located at 10.9 north, 51.7 west. Moving west-northwest at 22 knots. That's a pretty hefty speed to be moving. Other than that, for the North Atlantic, the Caribbean Sea, and the Gulf of Mexico, the National Hurricane Center is issuing advisories on Tropical Storm Chantal, located east of the Windward Islands. Elsewhere, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next 48 hours. From my Fox Hurricane, here's Chantal at 11 o'clock this morning, winds of 45 miles an hour. As it makes its way through, basically pressures at 2968, west-northwest movement at 25 miles an hour. It's about 2,396 miles east-southeast of Tampa, and by 8 o'clock on Friday morning, winds still near tropical storm force off the islands here, and getting close to offshore eastern Florida's southeastern coastline by 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, with winds just near or slightly below tropical storm status. This is a European modeling from last night. Shows the heat ridge across the Central Plains and also off the central and southern mid-Atlantic Bermuda High type situation here. A weak thermal trough here early this late this last night, early this morning. If we put the maps in motion, even at the upper levels, we do find a trough digging here by Thursday night and Friday into early Saturday. That trough gets out of here, and showers and thunderstorms that move through the region with this cold front and upper level disturbance and surface wave will move through the region. Now, the European modeling is not going to keep this and probably just washes it out. And notice how the European model wants to keep the ridging here across the central plains and the southern plains and across a large area off the mid-Atlantic coast. Notice these wind barbs here and these wind directions here. Strong high pressure off the coast. Bermuda high type situation. Once again, southwesterly winds returning. Temperatures rebounding after a cool start this Friday night, Saturday, and early Sunday. Temperatures rebounding on Monday afternoon and Monday night and into early Tuesday. And that leads us to another hot and humid air mass moving into the region. Could have a little bit more troughiness by the mid to the late part of next week as upper level disturbances across southeastern Canada get squeezed here in this squeeze play between the ridge off the coast and the ridge in the central plains. But this kind of performance will bring diurnal showers and thunderstorms with any passing disturbance, of course. But other than that, a return to hazy, hot, and humid conditions for the early to the middle part of next week once again. And the GFS 500 millibar vorticity and winds and absolute vorticity across the region. You can see as we go through the day, the trough axis moves off the coast. That's a weak short wave there. High pressure still off the mid-Atlantic coast. Strong high pressure now shunted across the central and southern plains where it's just been brutally hot across the region the last several weeks, and very dry too. Temperatures in the triple digits, and that has been a big problem. Now this heat ridge is not really going to go anywhere. We do have an upper low across southeastern Canada, a trailing cold front moving through the region on Friday morning. That's going to ignite some showers and thunderstorms across the region. Notice how the GFS pinches off this energy in the upper levels and then tries to just kind of wash it out a little bit as high pressure remains over and offshore, and high pressure rebuilding and passing and moving, redeveloping, and I shouldn't say redeveloping, but continuing to rebuild across the central plains through the region. The GFS is also taking probably what is Chantal into the western Gulf of Mexico, but the other models aren't really showing that. Anyway, there will be some kind of configuration in here where there's a weakness between the two ridges here and some precipitation or the advantage of the whatever happens with Chantal or its likes thereafter move up towards the Florida Peninsula, either the East Coast or into the Gulf. And as we move further in time, everything really gets suppressed because the heat ridge continues to build from the central plains all the way to the East Coast. A strong northerly flow in the upper levels of the atmosphere, strong high pressure again off the mid-Atlantic and southern New England, southern Atlantic coast states. So we're in for more hot, hazy, humid weather coming up during the early to mid part of next week. So that's going to do it for today's discussion. We'll be back bright and early with you on Tuesday morning. Have a great day.